Welcome to another episode of St Vincent on Told Stories. On this episode, we look at Nowlowin Bennett, aka Nali B. On October the 2nd, 2024, Nali B was charged with the graveyard ascending of one Elijah Crease. It is alleged that before the incident, Nalibi had made two reports to the police station saying that he was being harassed by Elijah. When the news broke that Nalibi had sent a man to the graveyard, it sent shock waves throughout the entire nation because you see, Nalibi was a very popular disc jockey and he was a popular barbecue man as well. Please remember to hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you wish to see more videos like these, please remember to hit the notification bell. Nali B rose to fame back in the days when the DJs were using CDs, and at that time CDs were selling like hot bread. And in order to be one of the best, you had to purchase the CDs with the best sound quality. Back in those days, men never used to copy other people's music. They used to buy them. I remember we told you we've been around in the four corners of St. Vincent. So we've been to many events when Alibi was a DJ, and he'd always rock the crowd. He'd get everybody grooving and dancing. And he'll make a lot of jokes on the microphone. One time I was in a dance and Alibi went on the mic and he saw a fat man dancing and sweating behind somebody's woman. And Alibi said, "Big up yourself, fat man. Take your time. We kind of wind that. It's a lizard wine. Behave yourself, fat man. I make you go so hard." At that time, Fat Man was wet from head to toe because the dance did not have any air condition. And the Fat Man was grooving. And Fat Man said, "Play the music, DJ. Just play the music. Make Fat Man just go on, the DJ. Play the music." So Nali said, "Fat Man, you want me give you something for dance?" And Nali scratch the CD and put on a bad shabarangs. My daddy was a bedroom bully. And the fat man tear off him short and spin it in the and fat man said, "DJ, you're bad." At that time, Nalibi was in his prime. He even had his own program on Hits FM, and at that time, Hits FM was one of the most popular radio stations across the island. A lot of the famous DJs that you hear now, Nalibi had once said that he was responsible for bringing a lot of them on the scene, and he even mentioned the names of Blaze and Stumpy. And to tell the truth, Blaze and Stumpy are two of the best DJs out there. You see, back in those days, nothing was pre-recorded on the laptops. You had to watch the crowd, and Nali was very good at that. You watch the type of people that was in the crowd, and you will play for those people. One time I saw a man holding on to Nali B's short, and the man said, "Nali, last week the police came and shut down the dance, and I did not get my money's worth. So hear what I want you to do tonight. I want you to play so much music that when I am done, my boots tear off. So you are going to make us dance until we get our money's worth. You know, like when a rat is Yankee, do you ever had Stuart Little? When Stuart Little and his friends saw Smokey, how them run and scramble. That's when Ali started to play music, you know. I know when Ali find them tuned, it was as if he was born in Jamaica. But you see, Nali had a loose mouth. He did not take big chats from anyone. He'd give you back big chats immediately. And that got a lot of men angry. A little mix up, they'd go on the Hits FM program. And some of the DJs left. And Nali decided that he did not like what was going on. So he said that he was going to leave and he left. But you see, because men knew that Nali would give back to her church, they started to trouble him and said, "Nali, you get fired." The boy them dash you away. And Nali said, "Dash away who? I bad me bad. I step on and move out." But you see, because Nali was not on the radio station again, a couple of his gigs declined. But he did several gigs here and there. And the last I heard of Nali, he was on a nicer radio. I think he was on another radio program as well. You see, what was different about Nolly is that he did not make fame get to his head. You know, sometimes a man feels them will have to music and thing and reach. No, sir. You not reach it. Take your time. And that's how Nolly did do. So Nolly and everybody was our friends. You know, it have some people. You and them would get in an argument today, and by tomorrow you're back together again as a friend. That was the kind of person that Nali was. You and him would have an argument now, and by this afternoon, you all would be eating and drinking together because Nali would say, man, show that behind back. That is a small thing. So when the news broke out that Nali had put an object to a man and sent him to the graveyard, people were surprised. They were saying, Nali be? No, it got to be someone else. One thing about Nolly, he always tried to make an honest dollar. No matter how small the party was, he would still show up. Even if there were 20 people inside the dance, he would play as if there were 500. And now, here we have a situation where one man was sent to the graveyard, and one is now remanded behind bars, awaiting a sentence, awaiting to be freed, because Nali is claiming that it was self-defense. And some of the other man's friends are saying, no, it was not self-defense. And told stories, we were not there. But the prosecution has their witness, and the defendant has his witness as well. So we have to wait and see what evidence the police brings forward. You see, what Nalibi should have done, he should have walked away. Because if he had walked away, he would have been grilling his chicken and his pork right in front Big Tigazatu up to this in Caliacua. You see, it have men who might think if I don't retaliate now, people would think that I'm a coward. But at the end of the day, some of these people who you're trying to impress, you won't see them when you are behind the bars. Sometimes the only persons that come to visit you are your family members. And sometimes family members don't even come. They complain and say that the Bread Isle Correctional Facility is too far away. You know how many men are locked away at Belle Isles, hoping that family members could send something for them to put in their commissary so that they can get something extra to eat and feel and look like someone. Otherwise, they have to use whatever the prison gives to them. If the prison cooks rice and peas today, that is what they have to eat, rice and peas. It have men who went in as a man and came out different. Yeah, man. The reason why is because they had nobody to back them, so they had to surrender. Especially if they were licky licky. Remember, I did that episode when I told you it had a boy that went in and he always used to ask for cigarette. And the men got fed up and they told him, well, now is your time to give something in return. And he could not give something in return. So they held him down. And men would come out and tell you there were bad men in prison, but some of them were washing clothes for other men. If you do a ratio and you ask all the men at the Belle Isle Correctional Facility or His Majesty's prisons in Kingston, if they don't want freedom, I bet you 95% of them would say yes. No man wants to be locked away for 24 hours in a day, taking orders. Randola stories want to say condolences to Elijah's family. And Nalibi boy, it's a sad situation. Randola stories want to encourage the ghetto youths to choose the right path. As I said before, sometimes you might get a little peer pressure from your colleagues, but sometimes you just have to walk far away. Remember one Kenny Rogers has said, you have to know when to fold, know when to run. And if you notice, not only bad boys are going behind bars, we have seen journalists, we have seen men of high society, you know. So that is telling us something.